As NIO prepares to launch unveil it on the 15th of this month, but deliveries will not commence until the fourth quarter, the market reacted in an unfavorable way. Oh my God, I was expecting to make money soon. I wanted quick profits. And the welfare instant gratification mindset has made them depressed. What it has done for Money Making Mitch says to me, my God, I am getting to keep buying to become wealthy. Whilst all this is happening, Peter Rollins of Lucid recently said, in fact, I think he said it today, yesterday, that the Chinese EV companies have to play catch up to Tesla. I think he was talking about in terms of technology, etc., etc. Here's what even Tesla shareholders thought about that when he said it. Take a look, guys.
Pode filmar! Para, velho, pelo amor de Deus, cara.
Bom dia, sabe?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. Money Making Mitch called it here first when I told you guys about the Australia plans. And then it was confirmed. It is confirmed with all of the different patents that we are securing in Australia and that we're going there this year, along with the UAE and others. So, what do I have for you guys today? China has, this is from EV News Driven, that's the name of the website. China has won the EV war and US car makers are changing their electric plans. So, the world understands that Peter Rollins have lost his mind. I mean, he's selling about 10 cars per year, so I'm not surprised. He sold about 6 of them in Saudi Arabia. It looks like we have a winner. China, as it has done with solar panels, wind turbines, and even battery storage. Let me say that again. China, as it has done with solar panels, they've dominated the market in solar panels, the most advanced solar panels in the world, photovoltaic, and we have them on our NeoSwap stations. Wind turbines, they are the most efficient wind turbines in the world, and even battery storage. Battery as a service, have you all heard of that? Our company NIO came out with that. Whilst Ample, an American company that I compare them to rat poop, bat poop, cat poop, and dog poop. Yes, bat poop, guano, just like Tesla. They cannot compete. So, not to mention battery metals. Remember, NIO is also investing in a company that does battery recycling. But they also have discovered 1 billion tons of lithium this year. Has already been declared the winner of the electric vehicle manufacturing wars. Understand that. This is why we invest in Chinese EVs. And the realization is having a big impact on what companies like Ford, GM, and even Tesla do next. They're trying to play catch up. We believe that Western auto firms, including Tesla, have come to a unanimous and simultaneous realization China has won the contest for EV supremacy. They have come to that realization, they admit it. Writes the Morgan Stanley auto analyst Adam Jonas in a new note to clients. Excuse me, guys. From this point, the industry is likely to enter a new phase of capex, spend lower, protectionism higher, and cooperation with China eventually. So it starts with protectionism, just like they did with Toyota before they allowed Toyota to come here. Toyota went into Europe. Spend lower, so they're trying to, do it at a cheaper rate, just like China. So they have to make their factories here more automated. In the meantime, the protectionism is trying to slow down the Chinese growth from coming here, preventing us from having choices. And cooperation with China eventually. They will have no choice. It is written on the wall, but Benjamin the donkey could not read. By that, he means the following. The big car makers, particularly GM and Ford, are the most likely to surrender any deep designs they had on becoming leaders in the EV sector. They have given up on that. They understand that. US and European car makers have shown that they can make very nice electric vehicles. They look nice. But none of them are cheap. And at the lower end of the market, none of them can match the price of the petrol and diesel equivalents. And one of the main reasons for that, guys, is China has a lot of the materials, the lithium, etc., etc. But also, when the war took place between Russia and Ukraine, instead of, like I said this before, the administration here in America and in Europe sitting down and negotiating peace, they did not do that. So the cost of their gas and oil and what have you has skyrocketed to like 4 times the price. Some of their factories are shutting down. So Chinese car makers such as BYD and MG are the exception. Ford, for instance, has already announced a winding back of its capex plans by $500 million US, and in its latest quarterly report revealed that it had lost US $1.3 billion in the first quarter. The same company that Jimmy Hat Kramer is telling you should buy now. For the sale of just 10,000 EVs, that translates to a loss of 130,000 US or $200,000 per electric car sold. Analysts such as Jonas believe that Ford and GE may end up with an EV share of sales of just 5% by the end of the decade. Sorry, guys. As they choose to cash in on the consumer obsession big cars. The constant carping about EVs in mainstream media and a clear current preference for hybrids. And they are happy with that because it means bigger profits. Because you see, most Americans will prefer to buy a hybrid here in America than a Tesla or Hyundai or what have you, because they understand after 8 years, we've said this so many times, the battery is done and it's worth as much as the car at that point, so you don't have no resale value. So they go choosing hybrids because they don't have a choice like what Europe is getting now, what Ireland is getting, and so many other countries. Even Tesla is having a rethink. Analysts have been trying to make sense about the confusing array of announcements in the last few weeks that have included a massive downsizing of its global staff, its dumping of its supercharger team, and the slowing down of new facilities, and questions about whether Tesla will produce its long-awaited Tesla 2 US $25,000 car. And you see, I think Elon has understood that he's lost the race. So he's focusing everything now on robotaxi. He's throwing everything behind it. This is his last chance. Many suspect that Tesla is focusing on, like I said, AI robotaxis as its long-term play and deals with existing car makers and subscription services, as well as credits in the short term. So what they're also saying is even if he comes up with robotaxi, he will eventually have to adopt battery as a service, because robotaxis cannot go and charge themselves, right? It has to be plugged in. It has to be battery swapping would be the eventual thing, so the car doesn't have to wait 15-20 minutes, even supercharging, to go for a passenger. The market shares of EVs in all the big markets make for interesting reading. Despite a jump in March sales, the market share in the US remains stalled at 6.5% in Europe. It has slipped to 15.5%, while in China it has jumped to more than 22%. Ford, for instance, has already set aside $700 million on EV credits that it will need to buy to meet the expected shortfall in its vehicle emissions targets. It may just ramp up that budget significantly rather than lose more on EVs than the US consumer doesn't want. So this is why I say when NIO finally comes to America through California after the elections, they would do a partnership with either Ford or GM. Most likely Ford, as you guys know, Jim Farley have spoken very well of NEO. The question for many is what happens next? Protectionism is likely to be a focus for the next few years, but BYD and others are looking to get around that by building factories in Europe and Mexico. But, says Jonas, for EVs to develop in Western markets, deals with China-based technologies and supply chains will be critical, like what NEO is doing already, right? A lot of deals, a lot of partnerships to help grow, because it takes a lot of money to do that, right? Which might go a long way to explain why Tesla Elon Musk made his unexpected visit to China like a lapdog. Well, this doesn't say that, I'm just adding that. Late last month, it was about a lot more than mapping. It was a lot more than mapping. And remember, I said that, guys. Now, they didn't elaborate on what they mean by a lot more than mapping, but it was also so that Baidu can collect the data so that the government doesn't have to worry about data being shared. Same as with NEO, and I said this, and watch, we're going to see if Money Making Mitch is right or wrong. Same as with NEO with NVIDIA, where NVIDIA will collect the information, so the American government don't have an excuse to say, well, it's a national security interest. Because of one guy on YouTube rightfully said, they will use national security interest for even if China wanted to sell corn. So I hope you guys found this video to be informational, inspirational, and motivational as to why we need to continue to buy into NEO, especially. If so, guys, do not forget to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we are waking up the middle class to get a piece of the pie. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.